Hello, welcome internet. I'm Gladiator, and I'm joined here today with Black Templar, and we are back with the Season 7 analysis. Doing analysis, it's been a while. It's good to be back for a little bit.
Oh yeah, I mean we haven't done one of these in what, nearly 4 or 5 months?
It's
Take?
been a while. It has been a while. But, for people who do not know, we got of course, a playoffs. We actually know all the seeds and where everyone's going to be going. I'm trying to find the picture right now so then everyone can see it. Just give me a moment. But anyway, people, how's everyone doing today? How are you doing today yourself, Blacks? It's been a fair day.
It's been all right. It's been a good day. I mean I've had some very hot weather, and we've had a very hot season on the pitch. That's for certain.
Flipping, this season has been full of blood and murder. There's been so many deaths. Some people will definitely call it the season of death.
Oh yes, and that is no exaggeration, folks. No. We've had nearly, I think if my recollection shows, we've had nearly about 40 plus deaths this season.
Indeed.
Counted 40 plus, and this season has been the most bloody, brutal, and most devastating season we've ever seen.
Oops, sorry,
We've
internet. I'm
seen-
trying to get you to the thing so you can see it. There we go. That is not my primary monitor.
Yep.
Anyways, I'm going to try to find this picture. I got to save it, apparently, before I can actually show everyone that. It is not doing it right. Cut that off. Dang it. It's not doing it. Alright, let's try something else. But, oh, shit. There we go. But either way, speak of the teams, though, that's actually in here. Flipping, we got myself, which is Dwarves. We got Blonde Cow, which is, Pro Elves. We got Bright, which is Skaven. We got Romkey, which is Orcs. We got Oath, which is Underworld. We got Malt with High Elves. We got Black with the Amazons. And we got King of the Cosmos with the Undead.
Yes, it's been quite an interesting turnabout. We've not seen any we've only have got three Premier Bashing teams, which is the Undead, the Orcs, and the Dwarfs. Now, before we go any further, ladies and gentlemen, there's something we should let you all know before we begin. Now, during the draft phase of the season, a few months ago, the Dwarfs, Chaos Dwarfs, and the Elves were nearing the high end of the draw. They were nearing the end of the draft, which was insane. And I did find out some of the reasons why people didn't pick them. Now, from what the other coaches have told me, and this is a bit of what they've said, they didn't want to play Dwarfs because they felt with Dwarfs it was too boring and, made you like the it guy, and nobody liked Elves. That was the simple reason.
But here we go, everyone. That's on the screen. There is our playoffs for this season of Season 7. We only got 8 positions instead of our usual 16 because, unfortunately, while this also being the season of death, it's also been the season of death for people leaving the season. We've lost, I believe, 6 to 7 coaches.
Yep.
The most we've ever lost. So.
True. Now, to be fair, on some people's occasions, some of them were powers out of their control. Some of them.
Indeed.
Just like
others decided
like Fire.
Yeah, like Double Fire. He actually had his PC got fried by the heat. It's been a hot It's been a hot year around the world. So.
Oh yeah, we've had it very hot. We've been in the top 30s as of late.
But either way, let's. I haven't actually made it yet because I don't want my everyone to be playing their matches while we are analyzing their games and everything. That's why I'm leaving up the brackets for a little bit. I'm gonna leave it up until we start looking at teams. But yeah, flipping. There's a good chunk of people that would definitely like anyone here could technically be like make it and win the entire playoffs. I'll probably say the weaker teams. Obviously, number 1 is you. You're the weakest.
Thanks. I would say Blonde was more weaker than me, but
The team value disagrees with you. And he is elves.
And welcome to the stream, Roger. Welcome to the stream, buddy.
Yeah, and welcome to the stream, Roger. But let me turn off this. We'll come back to it when we start looking at different stuff. Well, actually, let me turn it back on.
Yeah.
Let's look at our first contestants. Look at their teams before we actually make an analysis.
Before we go any further, to let you all know that this season is going to be interesting because do not forget, guys, this season, when this season ends, we will decide if we're going to have a Blood Bowl 3 or we're going to stay with Blood Bowl 2, depending on what happens with this early access that's going to happen.
The game's been delayed.
Unfortunately, we're all still in the...
So, it is what it is. I'd rather the game to be really, really good and polished and finished when we actually play it at its true release, which would be in February of next year. Which is not too far away, but still, it's a bit of a huff, really. It's a few months.
Yeah. But to all those who are wondering, we are toying with the idea, if I may announce this, that we are... Right? May I announce what we're thinking of doing with the leagues?
I mean, they're all just ideas, so nothing's permanent, but go ahead.
Yeah. What we're toying with, folks, we're not going to go back to the old US and European leagues. What we're considering is taking the formula that we've done for the second half of this season, where everyone will be put into separate leagues and will challenge random players. Basically, you will get a different opponent. It won't be the same like old European lots or same American lots. We will mix them up.
Now,
People
granted,
can face a different opponent.
in that same aspect, we could actually have a unique thing where it's a flipping pool of different players and whatnot. And we can do a certain amount, like an amount of different matches. Like, say, for example, we have 8 matches, but all your opponents are going to be different. And we can put them into a individual, like, what you want to call it? It's like, I forget the name of it. It's actually a league, it's like an open ladder. So we'll have our set thing on the Discord. But anyways, that's a lot of hypothetical stuff that we don't need to worry about in this video.
Yeah.
No,
But the thing is, though, I thought we'd let everyone know what we're planning, so that way it's a little bit transparent and people could be more like psyched for next season.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be some changes. There's also gonna be some new rule changes for those who are looking to return. I will be changing the forfeit rules. I'll be changing some of the team aspects when it comes to maybe people teaming up to play one team.
Yep.
I'm also thinking about some draft rules as well, which I think I've already confirmed a few of those for those that's in the Discord.
Yep.
But either way, any further ado, let's move on to the teams that we're looking forward to for this playoffs. Let's look at the first matchup between myself and Blonde Cal. Let me turn off this image.
Yep. Yep. So let's start with, who should we start with? You or Mr. Blonde?
Well, let's start with Blonde. We have a feeling that my team is dwarf. So let's take a look at Blonde Cal's team, which slid in there by the loss from Malt for the playoffs, and eliminated Caveman and Durham or Durmat, whatever his name is.
Which is a shame for the two of them, but Caveman and Durham, you two have nothing to be ashamed of. You did well. You almost made it, but you can blame Blonde for absolutely screwing up.
Yeah.
So blame Blonde, and if you get him next season, you can beat the living snot out of him because he'll be forced to take a weaker team next season.
Indeed.
Assuming we don't have the draft season we had this year.
Yeah, our draft season for season 7 was ridiculous. It got so far down and allowed me to pick dwarves. What are you guys thinking? The person before me. What are you doing? I'm gonna pick dwarves.
Yeah. Yeah, which I blame Roger and like Siphon all them.
Yeah, that would be very difficult, Roger, for us to try to do for the next season. Oh, for the Discord for next season, I'll be popping up some ideas for everyone to vote on. And yeah, we're going to try to do something a little more different, but also fair. We'll see. But anyways, back to this. Let's look at Blonde Cal's team. Overall, it's not a bad team. It's just the injuries.
Yeah, and to be honest, I'm not being funny, Blonde, but look, your best player is A. There's no doubt about it.
Yes.
A is your best player.
By every single
Be honest with you. But why? Why in Nuffle's nutsack are you having you, M, H, and freaking
P.
R. Why and P? Why you got them in your team?
Why
You should
are they
be
even
ditching them.
there? H, I can understand. It's only it's only an agi down. He's gonna be a front line cannon fodder, be taking punches. That I can understand. So.
Yep.
But
I mean, for the love of, like I said, for the love of crime anyway, why has he got these players? I mean, look what happened when he faced me. I swear to God, I think I broke the Jiva convention. What I did to him last time.
you're right, Roger. Flipping, yeah, this leaping guy, he's very powerful. But yeah, the rest of these players, they're just a bunch of fat. Granted, I made a joke when I was talking to Molly. He was streaming last time against Blonde Calip, which is funny enough. He was actually criticizing some of Blonde's team on why there's so many hurt players and like cut off the fat, cut off the stuff. That's what most good players do. They cut off the players that they don't need, or they think that they can get some not SPP, but petty cash against an enemy team. It's going to be really important in playoffs.
I mean, to be fair, right? If he had got rid of those 4 players, he would have cut off enough fat to get some inducements against you.
Oh yeah.
Also, the fact, I mean, it's got like 190k, right? Which is buffing up his team value as well, right?
Yeah, that's going to be an extra 30k. But I mean, flipping, get rid of you. That's an extra 20k that you remove. Of course, get rid of P, but that doesn't actually matter for your team value. Yeah. You could replace with another catcher, get more linemans.
Yeah, I'm just reading this saying. Does anyone remember Johnny's Norse? Team was just.
That was a broken team, very much so.
Yeah, but to be fair, with the difference between Johnny's Norse and this team, at least Johnny's Norse had at least. They could take stat downs and it wouldn't bother them way too much.
Or as much.
You know, as much. But for an elf, it's a different story.
I mean, the worst part is, like, I have the most Mighty Blow in the playoffs. So these armor value 7 pieces are actually 6. If I don't actually, if I don't even use a +1, it's even worse for them for injuries. So, ew.
And I mean, for you, it's a +4 for you against you because I mean, he's armor 5. What in God's green is he even still in that damn team?
This was the joke though. Blonde Calip doesn't cut fat. He uses them as cannon fodder.
I'm sorry, but I don't care what you call a cannon fodder. That is not the way to play with elf teams. As soon as an elf gets an AV down, that's it. He's out the door.
Well, like I said, AV down, yeah, that's pretty much dead. But Agi down, like that's not as bad. Agi down,
no,
it's a front line piece. It's gonna get punched. It keeps your other elves from having to worry about it.
Yep. Strength down, out the door.
Yeah, strength down, out the door. Movement down, they're still alive. I mean, R, for example, like he has movement down. I don't know if he has a nuke or not. No, he's just moving down. He has block tackle. That's not a bad piece to keep because it's only a movement down. He still has Agi 4. That's fine. But the rest of these players, fire. I'm like, you needs to be fired. M, that's debatable since you have Mighty Blow. That's a double. H, that's only Agi, so he's a frontline piece. But yeah, you fire. P is fired because it's AV down. M is debatable.
You has to go. You has to go. I mean, you cannot argue this fact. You have to go.
Yep. So we agree. Definitely you. And maybe M. Get rid of them two. Replace them with linemen, or get another catcher. Because you got a lot of money.
I mean, I've played Blood Bowl for nearly 20 years, and I have never seen a player like in this state. I've seen freaking goblins with more stats than this poor guy.
Now he does like really good players, and A is definitely a top tier blitzer. He is a leaping Agi 5 blitzer with blodge and sidestep. No. Yeah, he starts with sidestep block. So yeah, flipping. That's a really good player. So is Z. I mean, Frenzy can get Frenzy Trap, but that leaping thing.
Yeah, but
I'll
be honest.
Go ahead.
If he was facing anyone but you, I could see those two could carry the team, but this is against you and your dwarfs, and that's a different kettle of fish.
Indeed, and I mean, granted, to be fair, if you fought Romke, you'd be in a bit of the same boat as well, because not only do you have to worry about strength, but you have to worry about all of his guard. But anyways, let's take a look at my team right quick.
Yep. So let's move over to the dwarfs. Most beardy, blasted cheats of all league.
uh,
I
I mean,
mean, I
I
mean, for heaven's sakes, I mean, how much God have you got in that damn team?
I only got 5 right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 Longbeards, Blitzer, and 2 Troll Slayers. However, if you look closely, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 players that only needs 1 SPP to level up, and none of them have guard.
Well, I can safely say, so far in this playoff conundrum, you're one of the favorites to win it because that is a very tough dwarf team.
Yes.
Then the only thing that's going against you, reality-wise, is that you've only got 2 rerolls, which can be a bit of an issue, but you can probably change that if you want
I
to.
make
But
up
I
that
don't
with
think you
leader.
will.
And the thing is, I even have a
Yep.
backup leader. These are both of my runners have leader, which a lot of people might say is unnecessary. It's understandable, but they are also a weak link for armor wise, if you want to say a weak link for armor for dwarves, on my team. So if one of my runners do go down, I still have the other that has leader.
Yep. I'll be honest with you. I think your team's pretty good, but I think, like I said, the only thing will go against you will be if Nuffle decides to really give you the boot.
Well,
But
I get 3 rerolls at
even-
the beginning of each drive because leader.
oh yeah, but like I said, if Nuffle gives you the boot though in the face, that could be your biggest problem. But
That's any team though.
Well,
If you get Nuffled, you get
well,
Nuffled. There's nothing you can do about it.
oh yeah. But to be honest, I mean, this is the thing, right? We don't have any players with claw because, fortunately for Pirate Joe, he failed to make it because he couldn't get a win, love or hair, bugger. And Dumont couldn't get in because thanks to Blonde screwing up.
But we do have the 2 Skaven teams that do have claw pieces.
We do, but let's be honest. We'll get to them a little later. Why I don't think Skaven will do as well as people think, but we'll get to that a little later.
Yeah.
But
Either way, my team is definitely set up to get a lot of SPP because of the weak armor value of the Pro Elves.
Yep.
However,
And
the biggest downfall for dwarfs is their speed. If he can outmaneuver me, then he can get a great chance of winning. They are elves, like a lot of people still don't understand. Now, yes, dwarfs are flipping ridiculous, and I have a lot of block, tackle, mighty blow. Well, I take that back. That's only one piece that has block, tackle, mighty blow. But I have a lot of mighty blow.
yeah. Well, that's the thing. His dodge is lost, so he can't use that. And let's be honest. Even though you're slow, you're a tank. You could literally set up in a way that says, right, no matter which way you go, I'm going to get at least 1 or 2 pieces on you quickly. The Neos will catch up, and I can just hold you for a turn or 2.
And here's another thing.
And that's it.
That kind of helps me in these matchups. Since I am the number 1 seed, every game that I fight in, it's gonna be on my field. And my field has the bribe thing. So my death roller here, if he doesn't roll a 1 because he has rolled a 1 in the past, he's staying in the game.
Yep. And don't forget, for those who are unaware, this will be your 6th time in the finals.
I can't. It's been so many I've been in there. Some of them I wasn't even trying to be in the finals, and I was in the finals, like my halflings. I was just trying to kill people. Okay, maybe
no, sorry, this is your 5th time. I've just checked out. This is your 5th time in finals. I mean, you're well veteranized. You are a former champion.
I am.
And to be honest with you, this is your tournament to win.
Yeah, I got a couple matchups I do need to worry about. Number 1 is I gotta, of course, not get my win should not be stolen by the Pro Elves. There always has that chance. Then I gotta worry about Skaven or the Orcs.
Or Orcs.
Which we'll talk about in just a moment. And then I have to worry about. You can get a chance to get in there, but let's be honest, dwarfs versus Amazons, I have the favorability in that.
Yeah. Even I'll admit, I've not beaten dwarfs once during the season because I've been utterly destroyed by you two.
Yeah, and you fight the person that just beat you in the last game, which is King of the Cosmos with his undead team, which is very strong at the moment.
Yeah, you saw what he did to me last time. It was absolute mullering.
Heck, he's the only team that beat me in the entire season, including he beat me with the first bit, and then we reset, and I didn't have to fight him, luckily. the next person that I'm definitely worried about, Oath might be able to squeak a win against Malt, and that would be very surprising. He has a single piece that is an absolute monster.
Yeah, but we'll get to that part when we get to it. But anyhow, I think it's best we best make the make my prediction since well you
It's
can't
my
predict
team.
because your team.
So yeah, make the prediction. Who do you think is going to win? What is the score?
I believe you're gonna win 2-1, and it will go to extra time. But I fear that Pros will take a bit of a pounding through this match.
Yeah, if they do win, I'd definitely take them down with me. And that would be the World Enders way. If you defeat them, they will take you with them.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it'll be a 2-1 win to you, but it will be a bloody affair for Blonde if he's not careful.
Yeah, he has to be careful. Get rid of those players, Blonde. Rehire some more if you need to, because you're fighting dwarves with a lot of mighty blow. I do suggest you getting more players. If you want to keep your players, that's fine. I do suggest you get rid of you, regardless of any players you fire, and of course the one that's missing next game. But you need to worry about players when you're fighting these dwarves, because I will outnumber you before the game's over with. I will tell you that just by experience.
Probably outnumber him by the time you end the first freaking punch.
Probably, if I can punch first. But either way, let's bring up our image for the bracket. And our next match will be Bright Ops and Romkey, which is going to be an interesting match.
It will be. This is a battle of power versus speed.
Indeed.
Now, this is Romkey's second playoffs. And this is Bright. Believe it or not, this is Bright's sixth foray into the playoffs.
Both of them are pretty decent coaches. Bright has been in the league since the beginning.
Yep.
He's very well veteranized. He's probably one of the better players in the league that hasn't won a championship yet. But since we got Bright on the top of Romkey for the bracket wise, even technically he'll be on Romkey Stadium because he is the number 4 seed. But let's take a look at Bright Ops team, the Skaven team.
Yeah.
Evil Masterminds.
So let's look. Yep. Now, I'm gonna be honest. The thing about Bright Ops Skaven team is, it's a very unique style of team, and once you've moved the brackets out, so I can see the actual.
Sorry about that. Let me turn that off.
Yeah. Yep. I have to say the thing about Skaven is, I mean, yes, he doesn't have many skills, but the thing about his team, he doesn't need them. Because the way Bright operates is, he really operates in a, like, gotta run a, like, style, which is like hit and run, don't stick for long combat.
My personal view on the Skaven team, it's not a bad Skaven team. However, you're fighting against orcs. Orcs are strong, they have a lot of strength, and Romkey's orcs, we haven't looked at it yet, but I know because I've been looking at it. It has a lot of guard. You have one guard piece, and it's your Rat Ogre. Your Rat Ogre is strong, he's going to kind of cog some of the things up against the orc team.
But I think the biggest threat to the orcs is Maximilian.
Indeed. Maximilian, he has Claw, so it brings down the armor value from 9 to 7. So instead of a 10 plus, it'll be a 8 plus. That's pretty big for mostly armor value 9 pieces in it. Now he doesn't have Mighty Blow, but he kind of makes up for it for when he's blitzing because he has horns. So he brings his strength up to 4. So he doesn't really need all the assists to bring down a Black Orc. Put in Red Ivan or make him stand up, or he's already next to him. You get a guard piece in there, blitz with Maximilian, you can bring down a Black Orc really, really quickly.
Yep. And also we gotta look at the point as well, is gutter runners. Now, Emma is an absolute, like speed demon. I mean, it's a blood piece, it's got twin heads, so it's gonna be less likely to trip.
And it has short hands.
It's got short hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, probably the questioning thing for me is why he has Dauntless. Or her. It might be her. Anyways, I understand why. But this is this looks like the ball carrier minus well actually those are throwers. He only has 2 go to runners. But he has 2 throwers with an Agi fork thrower. That has kickoff, or is that kick or kickoff return? I think that's kick. Yeah, that's
Kickoff
kick.
return. It's kick, yeah.
Um,
Now the reason why I think I know why he's put Dauntless on. It's like if any player is like on its own or you can get into a cage without any problems, you could use Dauntless to go one-on-one. Basically, it's like I think like a pseudo blocker when needed. The problem with Dauntless is it's very random. It will either go off or it won't go off.
Yeah, you're right. And I mean, granted, it's mostly a 2+ on, say for example, there's 3 strength, so it's 2+. He can get 3 strength against him. If it's 4+, I think that's a 4+, or 3+ to try to get the strength. And if it's 5, it's more. But anyways, this is overall not a bad team. I think the biggest thing that goes against him though is the lack of players. If he has more players, the better it is. But since he has so little players, he has a small bit of advantage. I'll give him that. But he only has 12 players.
Yeah.
And he's fighting orcs.
Well, the thing is, though, the problem with that is because, unfortunately for him, he's been one of the victims of the Season of Death because every time he tries to get a new rat, it ends up dying.
That's fair. Does this guy have Niggle? He has Niggle. Oof.
Yeah, he has Niggle. But I don't think he has much of a choice, to be honest.
I mean, it's a cannon fodder that you put on the line. Maybe take a punch, maybe not. Either way, let's take a look at Romkey's team.
Yep.
Wherever it is, there it is.
The green, smelly bullies.
That smokes a lot of weed.
Yeah.
And this orc team, it's pretty strong. We have one player that could level up. 2 players. I'll take that back to Blitzer.
It's a very strong team, but the problem with this team is, and I think a lot of people might notice is, a lack of tackle could be a bit of an issue against the Gutter Runner because he's got 2 players that can legitimately go after the Gutter Runner, which are both blitzers.
Mm-hmm. And one's actually 4.
But the problem is, yep. But the thing is though, if Bright Ops is smart and uses Maximilian to take those 2 out, that could be where things could be a little bit problematic for Ronky to get a hold of the rats.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree. If Maximilian can take out that either one of those blitzers, that'll make it really rough for Ronky having a decent safety. Because let's be honest, the front line is the Black Orcs and the Troll. They're the ones doing the punching. They're the ones taking most of the punches. But you are very correct.
Also, I want to give a message out to Ronky. Spend your damn money because that's what's boosting your rating.
Yeah. Upgrade your club or well, do like you got security gate. So any riot or pitch evasion events are canceled. So that kind of helps you out a little bit. Because this is on his stadium because he is the 4th seed versus the 5th seed.
Yeah.
But I mean,
to be honest,
here's one more thing I have to say.
You could buy. Go ahead.
Ronky's main issue here, while he does have 2 Mighty Blow pieces, his team, could have an issue with hurting players if he doesn't roll decent enough. Now, you're also talking about Ronky. He does have fairly okay luck. Better than average, I would say. But, and here's the biggest but to the entire thing. How often are you going to be punching the more important players? How often are they going to be surrounded? So.
I mean, thing is though, with Ronky's team, if Ronky can get a hold of the rats and do some quick damage, I believe he could win the match through attrition. But the problem is, it's the Gutter Runners, and mainly Emma. If he cannot stop Emma from, doing her thing, we're gonna have problems.
Indeed, you're right. Taking a look at the statistics, Ronky has 10 wins, 3 losses, and Bright Ops for his stats. He has 10 wins as well, so they both are equally scored for wins. So it's anyone's game for, I would say, definitely skill-wise in this, because I say Ronky and Bright are pretty evenly matched when it comes to skill level. I say Bright slightly above Ronky, but Ronky's luck kind of makes the difference.
Yep. But the funny thing is, I've beaten these 2.
I have too. Maybe not in this season. I haven't beaten Ronky, but I haven't played Ronky.
I've beaten Ronky this season. I lost him to the first time in the first half of the season, but I beat him in the second half.
Okay.
And Bright Ops have beaten him as well, but barely because I was getting absolutely bloody like knuckled, and I had to literally work my ass off to make something work.
Yeah, it happens.
But
Shall we talk about score?
I think we shall.
Since you said the score for the last one, I'll go ahead and go first. I think Romkey has the edge in this one because of all of his strength. I'm gonna give this a 2-1 victory for Romkey, and it will not go to overtime.
I agree this won't go to overtime, but I believe Bright will win 3-2.
Interesting. I can see it. Both are very possible. But my favorite is definitely going towards Romkey. I feel like the strength is going to just be really hard for Bright to worry about. But anyways, either way it can go. I wish you both luck. Let's move on to the next one, which will involve. Yep. It will involve Oathmaster and Malt. So both really good coaches. Both of them have won seasons. So this is a rematch as well, I think.
Yep. However, Oath has something to prove in this season. For those who are unaware, Oath is the defending champion.
He is.
And according to the history books, there has been no coach that has won back-to-back championships at all for our YouTube League.
I think you're right. Oath won 2 seasons, but I don't think he's won back-to-back.
Nope. He is trying to... Now, not only could he be the first player to win 3 seasons, he could be the first coach to go back-to-back.
That is true. Both coaches have really good teams. Since Oathmaster is the lower score from team value, let's take a look at his team since he's going to have some petty cash to worry about.
Mm-hmm. And this is the thing about Oath. We all know Oath is a very crafty individual. He is not easily pinned down.
Oath has a very intriguing strategy when it comes to playing Blood Bowl. He knows
seems to work.
He knows how to move his players accordingly to try to keep everything safe. He also knows when to try to tackle or attack certain players. However, he's playing a half stunty team with a lot of low team value here. He does have 2 combat characters. Well, I take that back.
Oh, yes.
3 combat characters, but one is a little weird. We'll explain to him in just a moment. It's an abomination, and we all see him at the bottom. But he's like a distraction at this point in time now. Like, you want to kill the goblin, but then you don't even think about Experiment 666.
Yes. Now, Experiment 666 is going to be, in my view, I'm going to say this, he's the player to watch out for in this matchup.
Oh, definitely.
Because
definitely.
He's going to be the one. I mean, yes, his claw, reality-wise, won't do much in this match. In reality.
Well,
however,
most elves are armor value 8, so we'll bring down the armor value to 7. And with Blood Bowl 2016, because I'm pretty sure that's the rule base for this game, Claws and Mighty Blow stacks.
Yep. Now, the thing we also got to remember, folks, and this is the thing we got to remember about Experiment 66, he is one of those what I like to call, yes, he is the biggest threat, but he's also the biggest target.
You are correct. That's the bad thing about good players. They are also big targets.
Now, don't get me wrong, Strength 4 Claw Mighty Blow tackle piece is an absolute terror.
Oh,
this thing is an absolute monster. And I'll tell you right now, he'll give any dwarf and any orc a run for its money in a fight.
Oh, definitely. With Strength 4, and of course he starts with block, but Strength 4 itself makes him so nasty. And the Claw on top with Mighty Blow, it makes this character from really good to one of the best players in the entire league. For killers wise, he already has 3 kills. This player is disgusting. It makes, like, that's one reason why I love the Underworld Blitzers. They start off with block. They have movement 7. They have strength 3, agility 3, armor value 8. So they have decent armor. So they can tank blows.
Oh, yes.
And you made this guy already tough to bring down with just regular block to even worse because he's strength 4.
And here's the thing. I mean, thing is, though, right, if he gets another double, which won't happen for a very long time, given his killing reputation, I mean, he is by far, I have checked, the most valued player in the entire roster of all teams.
Wait, is he? Hold up. Wait a minute. I want to check something because I have a Death Throw that has He is. He is slightly more than my Death Roller that needs to be leveled up in a little bit. So yeah, you're right.
Yep. In fact, I will even go on record to say I think he's the most valued player in all seasons, from all 7 seasons.
I disagree because I've had players just like this guy. So it might be equal. Anyways,
Yeah, but
regardless, he is a top tier team, and he's definitely one of the best players of this season. Period.
Yeah. And if he doesn't die this playoffs, he's most likely going to be in the best 11. I think we'll be doing it in the season.
I understand your feelings, Roger, with your blitzers of Kislev.
Yeah. But I mean, yes, he's not. I would say a blodge piece would go, but I don't see Oath would do that. I think Oath would probably give him horns to go right. Strength 5 blitzing monstrosity sounds fun.
You know, I think he might instead of going that, he's going to go piling on.
Oh, good lord! Piling on with that monstrosity, it'll be just like saying, right, probably enough when he doesn't get any good rolls.
That would be so messed up. He's this good player not rolling like anything. But anyways, besides him, let's look at this monstrosity of a goblin. He did get punched by the ogre, so now he has less movement, which makes it a little bit more fair, I'd say. But this thing he got a strength up with him, so he's strength 3, so he's averaging that point now. He has agi 4, so that's great, but now he has horns as well. So he's dodging through any tackle zone with a 2+, and he could break through cages with horns, making a strength 4, unless it's guard. But this thing is a monster. What the heck?
Yeah, but and that horn on his head, that's not right.
Yeah, I got a horn. You're messing with me. I'm gonna mess with you when you have a cage. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing about this goblin. That's what's very scary about him. You could use him as a cage breaker. That's what's terrifying.
Like, because if he was fighting dwarves or black orcs, he has to worry about guard. But since he's fighting elves, which I think Maud does have a guard piece, he's not going to have to worry about as much. He's going to flip and mark the players, and then blitz with this guy, and then take. Well, I say take. He doesn't have block or tackle, so he can push him out to make someone else punch him, maybe. So we'll have to see in the match. This guy is a playmaker, though.
Yep, and I would also state that he's probably the most high-value goblin we've ever seen.
Oh, by far, he's definitely the most high-value goblin. I think the only thing that might be able to compete with him for value-wise, and some people might have to take this with a grain of salt because they will be less in value, but that is definitely a chainsaw. The reason why I say this is because chainsaws obviously bring down 3 armor automatically, and they can hurt people very, very easily. They make a tree from having really good armor to something like, I don't want my tree to go down from a chainsaw. But
well, that's true. That's true. But the thing is, though, I mean, this team is going to be a very hard team to pin down. But the thing is, though, it's all going to boil down to 2 players: Experiment 666 and Forest Watermaze. These are going to be the 2 main players to keep an eye on.
I'd say I actually slightly disagree. I will agree with Experiment 666. And the Goblin is also really good, but the underdog player that you might be forgetting is Pinky. He has tentacles. So he might be able to keep some elves right next to him instead of them running away.
He could do, but the problem with Pinky is, unfortunately, Pinky has died 3 times. He's luckily revived 3 times.
That is true.
Yeah, so I wouldn't rely on Pinky much. I would say with Pinky, I mean, don't get me wrong, tentacles is a good skill to have on him.
Don't say that, Roger. They're going to do that in the future. Chainsaw with claws? That sounds disgusting.
You do realize humans can have chainsaws now, you know.
Yeah, well, they could actually have it before 2020, but that's different star players. And this one, of course not. But anyways, like, a really good team. Let's take a look at Maltz. We talked about Oath long enough, and the worst part is, like, we haven't really said it. Well, I said it a little bit at the beginning, but Payday Cash is going to be an issue as well for Maltz. Because his players are worth a lot.
Plus the fact that he hasn't upgraded one of his players.
He hasn't upgraded 2 of his players, which one is going to probably get block or dodge, and the other one's going to get If he rolls doubles, he's gonna get Mighty Blow. If he doesn't, it might be Shadowing, it might be Catch. It could be anything for the Blitzer.
Yeah.
Probably
pretty much.
Sidestep though.
Now, this is where I'm afraid Molt is now going to have his problems, because if you look at Mary Jane, I'm sorry to say this, but a 7 armored Blitzer, yes, you're not facing too much tackle against Oath, but if somehow you beat Oath and you run into me, that could be a bit of a problem. Or King. One of us two could be a bit of an issue for you.
I slightly disagree.
If you get past Molt.
He already has Bloods and Sidestep with this piece. It's worth a lot of money in that regard. Yes, armor value 7 sucks, but this player is not gonna go down that often. And Oath doesn't have much tackle to worry about. I mean, yes, his main Blitzer has tackle. He does also have a Skaven lineman that has tackle to worry about. But
yeah,
and like here's the biggest but. Not many players on Oath's team has tackle.
Oh no.
And
the thing is, though, but the same can be said on Molt's side as well. I mean, Molt, I think he's got 2 tackle pieces. Is that correct? He's got 1 as well.
He has 1. So yeah, that's also an issue to try to bring down the goblins. But who's going to do more damage? Well, I take that back. Experiment 666 is going to do more damage.
Yeah, you're about to say that.
But I mean, at the same time, though, a Blitzer can bring down a goblin pretty easily because he has Stunty and tackle. So this Blitzer is going to be very worthwhile to think about.
But also, we must also remember, both Molt and Oath are very wily and skilled coaches.
Oh yeah, this is going to be a slobber knocker when it comes to skill level. Like, maybe not punching. Well, I take that back. Punching, there's going to be goblins flying everywhere. There's going to be flipping elves flying everywhere. There's going to be 2 killers on this pitch that's going to be targeted. If you don't target them, your players are going to die.
Yeah, and the main target for the elves will be Ganja. He'll be the biggest target. Because his passing is ludicrous.
It's going to be that. It's going to be either him, Weed, or probably this lineman that, like, either one of these linemen that has guard. Because that can kind of counter a little bit of the little goblin cage breaking. But
yeah.
He does have 4 blodge pieces, though, so.
I don't think this will be a slobber knock of punches. This will be a full-on chess match.
I mean,
It'll be a
this is going to be a very tactical match. It's going to be full of punches. I do think it's going to be a slobber knocker. I think there's going to be goblins going. I do think that there's going to be some elves going. And it's going to involve a lot of strategy as well.
And there's going to be fur flying everywhere.
Fur.
Probably a warp storm coming out of nowhere.
Oh, definitely. That's definitely going to be the case with warp storm. Maybe not fur. Unless because the rats are they're not very furful. They're very furless. Like look at these guys.
And then you've got also referees getting tossed about.
Oh, referees is always a target. So, except when you come to Roger's case with his thumbnails, like his last game against me. Oh, his thumbnails were dwarf, and goblin referee. So I was definitely favorable with his photograph picks.
Yeah, but I'm going to be honest. This will be a very, very tactical, long-thinking match, and this is one I think this will put both coaches through the test.
Oh, by far.
Now, I'm going to be honest. These two are I would say Molt is the more likely favorite to win the season because he is good with elves. And I feel like if he can get past Oath, and whoever comes out of my match against King could decide if he could make it to the final or not.
You are correct. You are very, very correct. But let's go ahead and talk about the score. Who do you think is going to win?
I'm going to be honest. This is going to boil down to, and this might shock people, but it's going to boil down who gets the kickoff.
You're not wrong. That would decide a lot of the game.
Because the reason I'm saying is, if Oath gets the kickoff, he has a chance to get turn 1 touchdown if he needs it, right?
Yeah, you're right.
If Molt gets it, then he could negate that. It's so hard because these two are equally matched. They're so well diversed.
Well, if we're going by teams though, like High Elves are better tier than Underworld.
I would agree on that, but if we're going by the tier system, no question. But I'm going by coaches' like skill set and how they go through the season because
Oh yeah, I know.
let's be honest.
It's hard. They're both really good coaches. Both of them in multiple championships. O's won 2 championships. Malt's won a championship.
Won.
And I'm pretty sure he's been in the finals as well. I think he lost. I can't remember.
He's only been in one final, and that was the one he won.
Yeah, I know. Unlike them, like me and you've been in a few championships. But either way.
I mean, I think I hold the record for having 6 playoff appearances.
You might tie with others, but I'm talking about championships. I'm not talking about playoff appearances.
In finals, I think I've got the record with 3 finals at the moment.
Yeah, I know I got 2. I can't remember if I got a third one or not.
You've got 2. You've got one where you beat me, and you got the other one was when I beat you.
Yeah. I
Remember
can't remember.
Chaos Free Necromantic?
Oh, I know that one. I know the other one, which I was playing High Elves. But anyways, it's not the big deal. I think. Did you ever say a score?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna go with. It's so hard, but I'm gonna go. 2-1. 2-1. Oath. But I believe this game will go way, way deep into extra time.
Overtime, I can see it. And the thing is, like, there can be actually 2 overtimes, I believe. But I might be wrong because I think we went to overtime before in playoffs and it was a coin flip, or it might have been regular season. Regardless, if it goes to overtime again, we'll actually do a bit of a friendly, and it will be determined by game.
Yeah, it's for those who are unaware what we're talking about, this revolves around the match between me and Formal back in season 3 when I was playing as the Orcs and he was playing the Dwarves, and we went all the way to a freaking kickoff.
Yep, and then like it was a tie pretty much, and then whoever won the coin toss. That's who won. That's dumb. We're not going to do that.
Yeah.
But me, I think Malt's going to win this one. It's going to be bloody though. I'm pretty sure he's going to lose a couple players. What I mean by that is, he might get a stat down, he might get a death because experiment 666. But I believe Malt has the speed. He has the skill with elves to be able to go over the edge. I think it's going to be a 2-1 victory. With a great possible chance of 1-turn touchdown in overtime for Oath to try to tie it or get the victory. And heck, it might be a flipping 3-2. For all I know.
Yep.
So I do think that it's gonna be a goblin throw though.
Oh, I agree. This, like I said, this is so close. It could go either way. On those matches.
I agree. I agree. It's gonna be tough to call.
And I'm gonna say this right now. This is the match to watch for this round of the playoffs, I believe.
I say this one's definitely one of the bigger ones to think about, but I'll give my entire thoughts through once we finish. But anyways, let's move on to the next one, which will involve you and King.
Yeah, the worst matchup I could ever have.
Yeah, you are the underdog by far, but you also get like 500 petty cash. So
yeah. I mean, it's not new for me to be the underdog in certain scenarios, because as you well know, I've had my fair share of being underdogs in many situations. I mean, yes, I've lost Supergirl and Rogue this matchup, but to be honest, it's not the biggest loss for me because, to be honest, I've still got 2 good players on the roster on my team.
Mm-hmm. Indeed, you're correct.
Yeah, broken. Yep, both my players were missing next game, broken ribs.
So that's good in that regard if you're so having to win, because they'll return back and they'll be decent players. I mean, probably the biggest thing for you is that you have Blodge on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players. That's insane. Which, of course, if you get star players, that will count towards your team value or your team count as well.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, Blodge meant nothing when I was facing freaking King last time. He just kept getting power every time.
Yeah, I mean, but here's the thing though: if you're really lucky in one game and you're not so lucky in the next game, this usually tends to be the case in a lot of situations.
Oh yeah, but the thing is though, when you look at this matchup between me and King, I mean, yes, I've got more like dodging prowess and a little more trickery on my side, but I really can't outpower him, and I have to hope to high hell I can stand long enough try and get a few touchdowns in.
Well, here's the thing. Like, overall, your team is actually very, very good. You have 3 players that has Blodge and Guard. And you have another 3 players that have, well, actually 4 players that have Tackle and Blodge. And 3 of those have Mighty Blow. So, on average, for punching wise, that is armor value 8 or lower, you're going to be able to do more consistency when it brings people down than your friend of the Undead, which actually has a lot of Mighty Blow as well. He has a Mummy that has Block, which is insane. He has a Movement 4 Mummy that has Guard, so he's going to be moving around. The other Mummy has Grab as well, so that's going to help out with him trying to get more punches. He has a White that is absolutely insane as well. It is a ball carrier that has Guard, Agi 4, Sure Hands, and Finn, which is Sam the Dog, which that is insane. But the biggest thing that might help you out, even though it really didn't last time for you, he only has 1 tackle piece. That's really the deciding factor, though, is if Duffle's on your side and you don't get powed a lot.
Yeah. I mean, that's one thing I need on my side. And the thing is, though, like I said, I could beat them, but this battle will come down to Nuffle not trying to rip my head off like he did last time.
That's true. And here's another thing. He has 4 ghouls, which he does have spare players. Don't get me wrong, and of course he has the White. But those ghouls, if they go down, there's no way for him to bring them back. So if you're still having to get a chance to punch one, punch him. You already know that, but still.
Yeah, I've been trying to last game, but every time I tried to punch them, they wouldn't get hurt. I was like, what the bloody hell's taking them to kill these buggers?
Oh, and Roger said, or just be me and never be lucky when you need it.
Thanks a bunch, Roger.
I think it's talking about King, but I don't know.
Yeah, but to be fair, King is one of the other players I'm considering is one of the favorites.
King, for a player that's actually been in a few different seasons, playoffs, and gotten close to the championship multiple times, he got pulled an underdog with Rogers though by beating a Skaven team. But
yeah,
King is he's a good player. He's a really solid player. He beat me. He's the only player that beat me throughout the entire regular season. And
this is what I was referring to earlier when I said for Molt, if Molt goes through, and depends on who he gets between. If he gets me, he's got more chance of beating me than he would with King, because he's not going to be able to bully King around, and he's not going to get around King much, because King can outspeed him and out-agility him to some degree.
You can outspeed him because he has faster players, because movement 8 and 7 ghouls. But at the same time, flipping is how slow can you make this undead team go? And Malt's a really good player. He knows how to make screens, and he knows how to, like, last match he fought against King, he got nuffled. King actually has really good luck. It's ridiculous.
And that's the thing we gotta look at. I mean, thing is though, I think we all know that King is going to be a ferocious opponent. I know that, and then King will also be wary of as well. He knows what I'm capable of, and he'll probably be ready for me. But I do believe King is going to be one of the biggest threats of the tournament. I mean, if King does fall against me, it will be a massive shock to the tournament.
Oh, I can tell you this, though. Probably the top 3 favorites of winning this championship is definitely me, King, and probably Romkey.
I would disagree to one player. I do agree you, I do agree King, but I believe either Ulf or Molt might take the crown.
That's fair. That's fair.
Because, no offense to Ronky, and I'm going to be brute honest, if you lose and Ronky wins, then I would say, yeah, it's his tournament to lose.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go through and Ronky goes through, I would say you've got a better chance against Ronky because you are more sturdier and tougher than an orc.
They have average armor value of 9.
Yeah, but you're harder to pin down than the freaking orc.
I don't know. We'll have to worry about it when it comes to it. I will say I have a little bit more offense when it comes to Mighty Blow, so I could actually break through armor a little bit. Should break through armor better than Romkey, but he also has better luck than me, so I don't know.
Yep. But it's gonna be this is where things are gonna get interesting. I think this is where the matches that are gonna be key. All 4 matches are key. But
I didn't ever say
comes
a score
out
for
of them.
the match between you and King.
Yep.
I'm definitely going to put in favor of King. I think he's going to beat you. You might be able to pull an upset if you get the luck with you. I'm definitely saying that an upset's possible with any playoff match. It doesn't matter how good you are. If you get Nuffled, there could be an upset. That's why I said I could get flipping upsetted. There's a chance that let's be honest, the game between Romkey and Bright, that's an even match. Don't know really who's going to win, but I can definitely say King is probably favoring this match between you. He just has the strength. He doesn't have tackle though. So that could be the deciding factor, is if he gets the pals or not, again, against you. He does have strength, he does have guard, and he has movement.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't have tackle. He does have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Mighty Blow pieces. Actually tying me, I think, with Mighty Blow. So, that's the thing. So, can he bring you down before you can take out some of his key players?
Mm-hmm.
And it's also about positioning. Is he a decent positioner? Can you out-position him? Can you get through different things? So tactics is going to be a big thing for you, and breaking your back is his objective. So I'm going to say King's going to win this. It's going to be a 2-1, and it's going to go in overtime. I think it's going to be a close match. Unless King just breaks your back. Then it's just going to be him winning. So... Because I'm going by the previous match. It's going to be a tough match. You're the underdog here.
Yeah.
But you do get a lot of petty cash, so that might turn to your favor. You can get a wizard, you can get flipping Zara, you can get a lot of things.
Zara, Morgan Fork, or I might go a little dickish and go, I might take Master Chef and rip out your rerolls.
Oh, dude, that would be disgusting. Oh man,
depends how evil I want to get.
Heck, Morgan Thorg's good. He's 6 strength. He could be a person that holds your line, but at the same time, he's going to get fouled.
Yeah.
So, either way.
It's going to be interesting to see what I'll do, but I'm for certain this one's going to be a very tough season. And like I said, depending on where certain matches go, I think at semi-finals, we will probably know who's going to be roughly in the finals.
Indeed. It can definitely be a lot of people flipping. Like I said, I know I'm favored for definitely the first match. I will say that the match between Romkey and Bright is even. I think Romkey has a slight edge in my opinion, but at the same time, you said Bright will win, so it's even. Malt and Oath, that was another match to watch. So definitely the 2 matches to be watching in this playoff is Bright versus Romkey and Oath versus Malt. Oath versus Malt is probably be a lot cutthroat.
Yeah.
I believe that my match with Blonde Cow and your match with King is gonna be one-sided.
Well, the thing is though, I think I know both Oath and Malt wants me to win because one, they don't want to face King.
He's fair. That's a nasty team.
Yep. And they want to face me because if facing me, they have better chances.
Yeah.
Because, yes, King doesn't have much tackle, but he doesn't need it. He's got that so much strength. It's like, yeah, I just need the right dice just to smash a skull in.
Yeah, I mean, and the bad thing, the worst part about it is, like, say, for example, I'm just making assumptions here, raw predictions. Say, for example, Romkey makes it, I make it. So there's 2 strength teams on one side. There's only 1 strength team on the other side. Now, there's plenty of agility, and there is a weird team with Oath. So, I mean, we don't know. Like, it's Bash versus Dash on one side, and it's Weirdness versus Agi. And then, you're not really Dash, but you are agility-based. It's 2 weird matches in the other half of the playoffs, so it'll be interesting to see.
And also, by my recollection, I think I recall that the High Elves and the Pro Elves have been in nearly every playoffs all through the entire 7 seasons we've had.
I know there's been one in each season. I don't think both has been in every single season. High Elves has probably been in here the most consistently, but Pro Elves has also been in here a lot. I don't think they've been here every season though.
I'll be honest with you, I mean, Oath and Mold will be Oath and Mold, Bright and Romkey will be the 2 matches to watch.
Indeed.
Because unless a major upset happens in the other two games, which, to be honest, I don't see it in your game. Mine is a possibility. Yours, I highly doubt.
Yeah.
And I'm being honest. I think for you, and I'm gonna be honest here, if Ronki gets through, that's a match you're gonna love. Against Bright, that could be a bit of a different kettle of fish.
Well, I mean, we'll find out when we find out. We don't know who's going to win. I think, like you said, the middle matches between Bright, Ronki, and Oath, Maul, that's going to be the closest match to watch. Either way, let's wrap it up here. It's going to be a really good playoffs.
Yep.
I do think there's going to be a lot of good matches to watch for the future. So,
Yep.
without any further ado,
But
let's take
but there's
one
one
big
thing
assumption. Who do you think is going to
Yep.
win the playoffs altogether?
ooh, good question.
No, of course, there's a lot of
Now-
hypotheses that can go through the entire thing, so anything can happen.
Yep.
But if you can choose one player, and you can't choose yourself, who do you think is going to win it all?
I'll be honest. I would love to see Bright win because the dude's been around since the beginning. He's been in multiple playoffs, and the poor bugger has never reached a semi-final or final yet. I would love to see him at
That
least
is
win it
true.
once.
I would love to see Bright win, but who do I think will win? I think King, of course, can't choose himself. I think King has the best chance to win it all. But Bright definitely deserves it the most out of anyone.
You know what would be interesting? Bright versus King.
That would be interesting. It's gonna be tough
Cause-
for flipping Bright though. He has to go through orcs and dwarves. Maybe not dwarves. Maybe I get upsetted. You never know. But he has to go through orcs automatically, so that's gonna be tough in itself. But either way, anything else you want to add on top to this analysis before we wrap it up?
Yep. To all those in the playoffs. Good hunting and let the blood flow, cause it's gonna be one hell of a messy playoffs.
Indeed.
Let Nuffle bless your dice and prepare for war.
Oh yeah. And like always, thank you all for watching. Take it easy. Go check out Black's channel in the description below. Whenever I add it, if I do add it, if you can't, he is Black Templar. What's your other two numbers for everyone to find you?
89.
Black Templar 89. Go search for him in YouTube. Go check out stuff. And thank you all for watching, and we'll see all of you in the next stream, or analysis, or video. I'll be in the playoffs, so I'll be recording it and streaming it here. Thanks again, and take it easy.